Broadcasting live from Houligans Sports Grill on ISB in Daytona Beach, Florida, it's the Hail Wildcats Gridiron Show with the Gridiron Gang. Fellas, let's flip the switch and do this. A very pleasant good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We hope you are being safe across the nation with the impact of Helene. And we just pray that you and your families are doing well. We're here on the Hail Wildcats Gridiron Show for another week, special edition. We couldn't be at our normal location, so we had to make some changes, and we are here to bring you Wildcat football on the Hail Wildcats Gridiron Show. First, I'll start off with my guy, Ralph. Ralph, how's it going this week?
I'm doing the same thing all the other Wildcat fans are doing, trying to recuperate and not believe in what we witnessed on Saturday.
I understand. I totally understand. How are you doing with that recuperation?
I'm working on it. I'm working on it, and it's been difficult.
Understood. I totally understood. Well, Larry, I'll pivot over to you. How's it going, man?
Not bad, Daryl. My concerns are more with the weather, as you earlier indicated. I hope that all Wildcats are safe and battened down for this potential storm that's knocking on our door. And
definitely,
hopefully, it will move through quickly and not administer as much devastation as some of the forecasts are projecting. And maybe we'll have a clean track for some football in the southeast after the storm goes through. But that's where my thoughts have been. I, too, have been getting over the loss to Clark in a very spirited football game. And those kind of losses take a while to get over.
They do.
And, we will hopefully learn from that and do better in the future. We're going to have to do better.
Yeah, most definitely. Most definitely we're going to have to do better. And, I know we'll cover it in a little bit, but was able to take in practice on Tuesday, and the spirit around practice was definitely, that of, it's put up or shut up right now, for lack of a better word. And that's the excitement, the momentum surrounding that practice was just that. We'll see, man, and we'll definitely talk about that here a little more during the Gridiron Show. As I said, hopefully everyone's tuning in, being safe out there. Special prayers going up to the Panhandle and everyone, in the wake of Helene. So just praying for that. Guys, that'll take us right into our Swac week recap. So, as you guys have mentioned, our Wildcats come up on the short end of the stick. Clark Atlanta beats our Wildcats, walk-off field goal, 38-37 here in Daytona Stadium on this past Saturday. Then we had Mississippi Valley went into Nichols 66, Mississippi Valley 0. No surprises there. Then Central Arkansas goes to Arkansas Pine Bluff. Final score of that game, Central Arkansas 56, Arkansas Pine Bluff 17. Next up, Alabama A&M goes to Austin P. Austin P 59, Alabama A&M 16. Then the Rattlers, FAMU go to Troy. Final score of that game was 34-12 to Troy's favor. Then we had Jackson State playing Grambling. Grambling comes out on top in that contest 41-20. Is that a surprise for you? Any of you guys?
Well, I think the score's a surprise. I'm not so shocked by the fact that Grambling held court at home.
Right.
But the margin is a little bit different for me. 3 touchdowns is an awful lot for a rivalry game like that. But it just says that Grambling must be pushing the right buttons with their new head coach.
Yeah, must be. Coach Joseph and those guys
getting it done.
Yeah, definitely. Jerry said he's still crying, though. The pain is mutual, brother. The pain is mutual. We're gonna try to get him on here in a little bit here on the show with us. So hopefully, we can bring him in. Then we have Southern goes to Prairie View A&M. Final score of that game: Southern 31, Prairie View 24. Anything from that, guys?
You know, I was thinking that Prairie View was going to be much better this year, but they continue to disappoint. I'm not sure what's going on down there, but they ended the season pretty decent last year. So
yeah, definitely.
I thought they got a pretty big time quarterback to come there from.
Yeah, they did.
From Arkansas.
They did.
They did.
But I was expecting a lot more from them as well for the season. But give Southern credit, they got a much needed win on the road. And so I know that picks their spirits up because it was kind of tough in Jaguar land too.
Yeah.
Leading up to this game.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. Then you had Texas Southern going to Lamar. Lamar 20, Texas Southern 17. Close game there.
Very respectable score.
Very.
Much closer than I thought it would be. But Texas Southern Tigers are playing some pretty good football.
Definitely. They definitely are playing some good football there. And we got to face them later on this season.
We do.
So,
Absolutely.
going
we do.
out there.
In Houston.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. So, Stephen Holmes, that makes two of us. We're all going to cry together tonight, all right? But we're going to get it out of the way. Get it out of the way and, hopefully bounce back on this Saturday. So, and then finally, Alcorn State goes to McNeese. Final score of that game, McNeese State 42, Alcorn 14.
Now, this game here and this, I was, Elkhorn at the beginning of the season, everybody was saying they was unbeatable. They were picked to win the West, and man, I don't know if they gotten off about as slow as we have. I was expecting them to actually beat McNeese State.
Yeah.
Well, McNeese State has a quarterback that transferred into them from Montana State, who actually went to the FCS championship game last year. Yeah,
really.
The young man's name is Clifton McDowell, and he's a really good-looking athlete. So he's steadying the ship at McNeese. I saw them play a couple of times early in the year. He's a good-looking athlete, and they're they had a very horrible year the last couple of years.
Yes, they did.
But they're battling back now, and that's a big victory for them.
Definitely big victory for them. So that wraps up our SWAC week recap. That will take us right into our Pro First Sports Management SWAC week schedule and our SWAC ranking. So to start out, we have Alabama State, of course, coming here to Daytona Beach. That's a 3 p.m. kickoff here at Daytona Stadium. Of course, we'll cover that game here shortly. Guys, what I do not like seeing every week when we do the SWAC week recap.
What's that?
That maroon and gold is at the top. The top of the list every time for a 3 p.m. kickoff. Everybody else, 6, 7 o'clock kick. That's
a little bit different.
Yeah. I know we were at 4, but still, makes you have to get ready early.
It really does. It throws your day off a great deal. For example, this weekend, we have the Wesley Moore Memorial Service at 10 a.m. in the Hines Chapel on Bethune-Cookman's campus. And I'm anticipating, hopefully, we'll be out of there within an hour and a half. Still got to get out to the stadium by 12, get parked, and try to get into the stadium. So it's going to be a real tight Saturday this weekend.
Definitely so. So that's a 3 p.m. kickoff here at Daytona Stadium. As I said, we will cover that here shortly. Prairie View A&M in Grambling, that's a 7 p.m. kickoff there in the Cotton Bowl in Dallas, Texas. And then Jackson State goes to Texas Southern. That's a 7 p.m. kickoff there in Shell Energy Stadium out in Houston. And then Alcorn will face off against Mississippi Valley. That's a 7 p.m. kickoff in the Itabena.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Oh boy.
And
bring your mosquito repellent. Okay.
The FAMU Alabama A&M game was postponed to November 29th, so the week after Classic, Thanksgiving weekend, they will play that contest there in Tallahassee. So that'll take us right into our SWAC FCS computer rankings. Those computer rankings, FAMU comes in at 23. They were previously 14. Grambling State comes in at 65. They were previously 75. Jackson State comes in at 67, previously 48. Alabama A&M comes in at 91. They were previously 63. Alabama State comes in at 92. They were previously 96. Southern University comes in at 94, previously 114. Alcorn State comes in at 106. They were previously 86. Texas Southern comes in at 108, previously 97. Prairie View comes in at 113, previously 81. Arkansas Pine Bluff comes in at 122. They were previously 123. Our Wildcats come in at 125. We were previously 117, and rounding it out, Mississippi Valley 129, and they didn't move from 129. That'll take us right to our SWAC football standings. Right now, as we know, as far as the East goes, this really starts conference play on this weekend. Nobody has won a game. Nobody's lost a game in conference, but here we go in the East. FAMU comes in overall 2-2. Texas State 2-2. Alabama A&M 2-2. Alabama State 1-2. Bethune-Cookman 0-4, and Mississippi Valley 0-4. In the West, Southern comes in with 1 win, 0 losses in the conference, 2-2 overall. Texas Southern comes in 1 win, 0 losses in conference. They are 1-2 overall. Grambling State comes in, no wins, no losses conference, 3-1 overall. Arkansas Pine Bluff, no wins, no losses conference, overall 1-3. Then Alcorn State comes in at 1-3 overall, no wins, no losses in conference. And I totally agree with you, Marcus. We need to go back to the 6, 7 p.m. games if possible. But what do we know? We just know football and the people who make those decisions.
Yeah. A little bit of an oddity, Daryl. Grambling beat Jackson State, and yet it doesn't count against
it. Doesn't
them.
count, yeah.
So I wonder, would that happen with us when we play Grambling as well? Is that not count against?
Grambling's in the West.
Yeah, but Jackson's in the East.
Count.
Right.
And then
we've had one or two of those games before that it didn't count.
Okay.
For whatever reason. So
we've been really waiting for Grambling to roll off the schedule, right, and to pick up Pine Bluff.
Yeah, definitely.
We've not played them since we entered the SWAC.
But I think that game on Saturday with Jackson State and Texas Southern, that's going to be a tell-all game, I think, especially for Jackson State, because we're going to find out whether or not that was just a bad game they had against Grambling, or is this the real Jackson State football team? It's going to be interesting. I want to watch it. Thank you.
Huge shout out to Bobby Jackson. It was great meeting you on this past Saturday there in the stands, and looking forward to seeing you in other games. Guys, that'll take us right into our 1923 Society NIL chat. And man, let me just tell you, what is going on at UNLV? So those guys are undefeated, right? 3-0. Starting quarterback.
Pay me my money.
Decides to redshirt. Why is he redshirting? I guess some of the deals that were promised, or the deal that was promised to him, is not coming to fruition. And,
So I'm going to save my eligibility.
Right. And go somewhere else.
Where somebody's already probably breathing my palms a little bit ready. That's the nature of the new game.
And it is, we saw that again with another quarterback, the young man, is it Raiola?
Yeah.
Who went to Dylan, was originally coming to Florida, and what was it, $13 million?
Yeah.
This is
that was Rashida.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Right.
Rashida,
Right.
not
Right.
Rayola,
Right.
Rashida. He's at Georgia now. He's
Right. That's
with
right.
Georgia.
That's right. My
When,
correction.
when you guys said last week that NIL has changed the landscape is just starting to be tilled. It's
Oh,
gonna
for sure.
this college football in the next 3 to 5 years is going to be nothing like you grew up with. It's going to be totally different. It's all about money. It's going
Oh,
to be
it's
all
all
about money.
about.
It's going to be all about money. If you don't have any money, you're not in the ballgame.
As Nick said on here, the school made a statement today saying that his claims are false, but it's already out there now, and it's done.
Yeah, the damage is done.
Yeah.
No matter what they say.
Yeah, the damage is done. And it only takes one of these kind of events to be the tipping point, of the iceberg.
It's just so much so where you're almost like, I can speak for myself. You lose sleep at night because you know that payment or what have you is coming up, and you got to make sure it's done because if you don't, oh man, it's
Well, what the old commercial used to say back in the 80s and 90s with the little lady, show me the beef.
right.
These kids are like, show me the money, okay?
That's why I think it's going to get worse before it get better. Before it settled down.
Yeah.
Because we're actually really new into this. And when kids really, I mean, if you look at the homes that that Hunter kid and Sanders kid have out in Colorado, you're thinking, I mean, they got $1 million homes. So it's going to get worse.
So it's just like this, and like you're saying, it's getting worse. But I understand what the school put out, but it's also he's the starting quarterback, right?
Yeah.
He came from Holy Cross.
Holy Cross.
He came from Holy Cross. He has them 3-0. He's he's helping them to be 3-0, right?
Yeah.
And so you just do not, because it benefits him none to just say, "Hey, I'm going to coming from Holy Cross. This is technically his last year. He's a senior." And so with redshirting, okay, he adds another year. You don't, as a starting quarterback, any starter most of the time does not, most of the time now, and we've seen it here in Daytona that we found out this past week
please don't get that started.
That you're typically not going to redshirt if they're doing what.
But the question is this though: if he wasn't the quarterback, would it be 3-0?
Don't know. We're going to see now.
Yeah,
because
he's not going to be there this weekend.
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't have anybody to spin it, and obviously they didn't have, that's why they went and recruited him.
Right.
You got nothing. You got nothing. And I think he's going to get what he wants. Now, if I was a school, I probably wouldn't even got involved with saying anything.
Well, that's the thing, because it's not the school who is paying the money.
That's why they should have said. I don't understand why.
School.
Yeah, I don't understand why they made the statement.
And I know teams are moving within the last 3 or 4 years all over the place. But Holy Cross used to be an FCS school.
Right.
I don't know if they've made the transition
to
FBS now.
I think they're still non-scholarship. They're in that same Patriot League.
Okay.
With Stetson.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. But yeah, it's just, while we're on, the NIL chat, it's just, there's so many highs and lows and flows that go into it. And, the legality of it is just so far and wide that,
You just slide
it's
rule to
not pay to play, but it is.
Like I said, I think we're just at the beginning of the landslide.
Definitely.
We're just at the beginning.
Definitely so. Definitely. So we'll see. We'll see how that and others turn out, across the nation. But I need your help, fans. Go on. Go to the 1923society.com. Help out. Donate. Start your 1923, donation per month to help these guys.
What's that, $19.25 a month?
No, it's $19.23. Yeah, $19.23
per month, right?
Per month, yeah. Or you can go higher. If you're a business, you have access to the guys who are part of that, and they can come to events you have, autograph signings, just yeah. It opens the door to a lot of things.
Good enough.
The many, many moving parts of college football in this new millennium.
Yes. We created them.
Guys, that'll take us right into our therapy session. BCU versus Clark Atlanta game recap, and we will definitely do position grades and all right, so let's go into it, guys. Our Wildcats come up on the short end this past Saturday. Final few seconds of the game. Of course, Clark Atlanta kicked the field goal to send our Wildcats down in defeat. Final score of that game, 38-37, 55-yard field goal. We jump out early. Cam Ransom starts out the game 12 for 12, throwing the ball for 242 yards, hitting 3 different guys, down the stretch, first half. So we go into halftime 31-7. How are you guys feeling at that point in time? And I know what we had discussed on both sides.
Well, I that's why I have 2 sets of seats at the stadium. I don't sit in the burgundy seats. Larry. Yeah, I don't sit in the burgundy seats. I sit up top in the regular seats on the last row on the eastern end of the stadium so I can watch the game. And for me, because in my mind, I've been talking all week about this game.
Right.
I had a number in my mind that I felt we had to get to.
Yes, you did.
If we got to that number, I came to that number on the scoreboard based on the amount of possessions that each team would get. And that number was 40. I said, if we got to 40 points,
you said it,
we could win this football game. And the game for me changed on one play. And that one play was when we got the interception in the second quarter with about 10 minutes and 15 seconds to go. All we have to do is block the quarterback.
Right.
We got 2 people there. Our guys running it back. I think it got Watts, was it the safety?
Yeah, 14.
14 is running it back.
15, I'm sorry. 15.
He gets stripped by David Wright, the quarterback, and gets the football back. 4 o'clock. Ball is on the 12-yard line. I looked at the clock where I was sitting. It said 10:05 remaining in the second quarter. When they scored the second touchdown, Clark, the clock was down to 1 minute and 58 seconds. They held that ball in that drive that long. That was a precursor of what was going to happen in the second quarter. One score right there puts us at 38-7. I don't think they have enough possession and times to get back in the game.
Right.
But
and then we, possibly add 2 more field goals. We had
two more field goals. I'm saying we get to 2. Even if we only get 2 field goals, we're still safe.
Yeah.
Because they don't have enough possessions to get back in the ball game.
Definitely.
Thought it was the magic number. We didn't get it. And from that moment on, every other drive that they had coming, they won the toss, they deferred. That meant they get the ball to start the second half, which was smart. So they scored before half, they come out of half, score again. Now we got a little ball game brewing. Meanwhile, we get the ball and we drive, but we're not getting anything but field goal. We're not getting anything but field goal. So you could feel them growing. They were in the ball game. You can feel them growing. And while they were growing, you could feel the air going out of our sideline. You look really good.
But the one thing that I noticed about us, and I noticed it last year and I noticed it this year, we seem, once we get inside the red zone, we have nothing. We have nothing. We don't know. It's almost as if we don't know what to do once we get down there. Because some of the play calling in the red zone doesn't make a lick of sense. It doesn't make any sense.
Well, I have a greater concern, and that is I really wish we would just play the game straight through. Don't go to halftime because we don't make no adjustments. We don't make no adjustments. So let's just keep playing.
And it's 'cause last year was different because it was we go to halftime and we come back out as a totally different team.
A totally different team. You know? Totally different defensive team, not offensive. Whatever we were doing the first half offensively, we did it the second half. But our defense was tending to make adjustments, and then we stiffened up. But again, the play that was the defining play for me, I saw this kid when he was running in, and I knew for a fact they were going to throw the ball to him, and that was number 17. I knew they were going to throw the ball to him, and I watched him the whole time. And from the time he left the line of scrimmage, nobody guarded him. He was all Cam had to do was just throw it, and he was just standing there by himself, but he held on to the ball.
The tight end was in the back of the end zone.
Yeah, he was just standing back there.
And Cam short armed it. That was the offensive play.
Yeah.
If we get 7 there, in the second half. But again, we had to settle for a field goal.
Yeah.
Okay, we know that pass was short. If he's open and he's just standing there, right? Does he adjust to the ball to come up because it is short, or just stay there with your feet flat?
Well, he dived for it.
He left
it that short. And wasn't anybody there. That's just on Cam.
But because the play call was to throw the ball to him, so you know he was going to be there. Because it's just what I see in black college football. Nobody defend the tight end. The tight end's always going to be free in black college football. He's always free.
But what's more pressing as a precedence for this ball club is a very narrow margin of error for us.
Yes.
We have to make those plays because those plays define winning and losing for us. We don't have the capability right now to overcome something as simple as a missed pass like that, where a guy is standing wide open, nobody within 8 yards of him, and we short arm the throw.
We short arm the throw. I mean,
and it's not being nitpicking, but I like to look at games and find out where do things turn. Well, one of the things we know when we went to halftime, one of the things I was telling everybody all week long, do you know who the defensive coordinator is at
Clark?
And I told all my friends, I said, L.C. Cole is the defensive coordinator, former head coach at Tennessee State and also at Alabama State. Great defensive coordinator, played for Nebraska. I knew he was going to go in at halftime. What's the one thing he said Bethune-Cookman was not going to do the second half? You're not going to run Cam on me the second half.
No. If you've seen the video, it's out.
It's out. You're not going. You can take this play out, take it out of your repertoire for this game.
But again, it appears to me that we have 5 basic plays.
That's basically what we look at.
We got 5 basic plays, and if you adjust to those 5 basic plays, we don't care. We still gonna run the 5 basic plays. That's what I see. I'm not a football analyst, but that's what I see as a fan. We run those same plays.
Extremely predictable, over predictable.
Yeah, we don't try to run to the edge. We don't try to throw over the middle. We don't believe in the short pass over the middle. I'm not quite sure what the objective of this offense. You know, every offense has an objective. I'm not quite sure what our objectives are.
I cannot wait till we get to the grading part.
You don't want to get to the grading part.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I think it's important that we clarify something about grading. We can grade the position, but at the end of the day, let me be very succinct about my grading. I'm laying this at the feet of the coaching staff.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
Me as well.
Okay, that's what I'm doing.
Well, you know, I always say headsets. And then someone on here said we got to, 2 grades, grade first half, grade second half.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
We'll do whatever, but it's going to be not so good of a grade.
Hey, we knew that, Kevin.
We got a lot of wounds we got to repair here.
Headsets, and then it comes back to players also, and it's not to tear them down, but to we had some mental lapses,
which was unusual.
Yeah, we had quite a few mental lapses in the contest down the stretch.
But the last time I checked, we were the home football team, and that's a full complement of football players. If somebody's blowing coverages out there, get somebody else
who can do
play.
it right.
You know, that's what I'm concerned about.
It wasn't like you weren't at home.
No,
so
you had
we
a full
could have a full
Yes, if you're on the road, maybe we got that problem.
Yeah.
But we didn't even try.
We did
to do anything that made sensible with respect to the adjustments.
Whatever we started with in that game, offensively and defensively, we stayed with. We made no change. I mean, the kid who returning punts, he appeared to be not too sure of himself.
Well, we saw that,
and it showed because he fumbled the ball right in front of his coach. And we actually on that team have better punt returners.
But don't get me started. I don't.
Okay,
I don't have enough time.
I know that's a sport.
We don't have because I've never played a down of football in my life. But I watch a lot of it, and I can become a student of the game by watching it.
Right.
And I know for a fact there's a player on our football team that needs to be on every return team we have. And we're not getting him to football.
He's not even playing.
I know, but that's
so it was again, said by their own, staff that because I think that player has 2 teammates at Clark Atlanta, right?
He does.
Yeah,
he does.
There might be 3 next year.
Nah, it won't.
I
mean, it's one thing to be able to recruit. It's a totally different thing to be able to develop and to be able to assess.
And recognize your talent.
And recognize your talent.
Recognize your talent.
And I'm going to just say this, guys. I'm going to be very clear with my feelings tonight. If I'm 0-4, I'd rather be 0-5 playing my young players than playing older players. I'm building for the future. That's just the way I feel about that. If I got a senior upperclassman who's not playing well, hey, I'm going to go ahead and ride with the young guy. He's my future.
I totally agree with that.
So let's go down the stretch, guys. Great play. Well, good play by the specialists, Cade Hector and Anthony Frederick.
Have no problem with them at all.
Yeah, putting us in great position, sending the ball out, coughing.
I mean, NFL type precision on the placements by Frederick on the punts. Cade is becoming a weapon. He is deadly from inside 45 yards. And probably with the way the wind was blowing Saturday, depending on if he's kicking with the wind, he probably could have got it up from easily 55 or 60.
Yes.
So no problem with the kicking game as far as the punters and kickers are concerned.
Something that I have, that was really startling to me late in that game when we were still had the lead. We were down in their territory. One series, we did not run the ball at all. And we, even if we did not move it, running the ball does what? Controls the clock, right?
That's what it's all. It's a numbers game.
They can't kick that. Let's just say they can't kick that last second field goal if they don't have time.
If we burn the clock. But see,
clock management is critical in any game.
Yes, it is.
But see, that's my point, though. What is our offense? What is our objective? What are we trying to establish? I mean, because obviously at that point of the game, you want to kill the clock, but we act like we had just started the game. We were calling plays like we had just started the game.
Right.
And we had lost the momentum. Everybody, even the lady selling Coke, down at the stand knew we had lost the momentum.
And the craziest thing is drop back the pass when you cannot take a sack on that critical, that critical stage. And we took one.
Yeah. Well, the whole second half, their defense was stemming.
Oh yeah,
all over the place. They were bringing pressure because they knew they could defend everything. They didn't have any fear for anything we were trying to do because we were doing the same thing.
We were doing the same thing over and over.
And not to knock, we have played some freshmen this year. Keo Schultz being the one started, but we have to mentally as a coaching staff, mentally be in that football game, knowing who we have on the field and what those players can do at that time. We were down, our starting right tackle was up by us, so it's like just.
But I'm with Larry. I think we should be playing freshmen. I mean, you were losing anyway.
Yeah, but now it's different.
What do you mean it's different?
What did you lose?
We lost 4 football games.
Okay. Does that stop you from going to Celebration Bowl?
Okay, so we just plan to go to Celebration Bowl. Now, we don't give a crap about the first 4.
No, I'm not saying they're behind us now.
That doesn't make sense.
There's nothing you can do about them.
Then I would still play my freshman.
So you don't want. What I'm saying is the season isn't over by any means.
But what my point is, the guys you've played, we already know what they can do. We saw that Saturday.
No, that's not saying that, Ralph. It goes back to the coaching staff too. On the call this week, what did your head coach say?
He said exhibition season is over.
Okay, and so if we're calling games exhibition, let me just say it like this.
But hold on for a second.
Talent wise, you jumped out on Clark Atlanta. Talent wise, you should have been able to still win that football game.
I mean, just because that's what he calls it, I don't agree with that mentality. I think every game you play, you got to go in to win that with the mindset you want to win it.
But if that wasn't the mindset,
Larry,
they went in there.
Help me out here, Larry.
Y'all are reminding me of a situation that I had in my class one semester. A young man had failed every exam.
Right.
Throughout the year. We had got to midterm. And he had been late to class and everything, and he failed all exams. And had lost all of his homework points because he wasn't turning homework in. He came to me, he said, Professor Wesley, he said, if I pass the final exam, do a real good job on the final paper for the class, what would I get? I said, an investigation from the FBI. Okay. So, Daryl, if you're telling me, and I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying, that preseason is over. If we run this table for the Swac, we're going to need an investigation from the FBI or NCAA or somebody. I hope you're right.
Let me ask you guys this, and I agree with you, Larry, totally. In our heart of hearts, what should be our record right now? Truthfully,
2-2, 1-3.
What should be
2-2?
I say 1-3, like Jerry. I say 1-3.
Yeah.
I say 1-3.
So you're off by 1.
I'm not off.
No. What I'm saying is we're off by 1. Those guys said 1-3.
I absolutely hate your math. We 0-4, and you talk about 1-3.
Daryl,
that's what. Did you not?
Daryl, if you prove to be right, I'm going to drive to St. Augustine and go to the Fountain of Youth and get me a glass of water, okay? I hope you're right, but that's where I'm going.
If you sit here and try to understand that logic.
What do you mean? What I'm saying is, Ralph, we're 0-4, right? So the one game that we would have won or should have won was Clark. We didn't win that game.
Can I ask you a
so
question?
We're down 1. Yes. We're going to bring you in, Jerry. Go ahead, man.
Okay. Hey, y'all. How everybody doing?
Hey, Jerry.
Hey, Jerry.
I feel like I'm hanging out in the dumps with Ralph and Larry on this, and Daryl still bouncing around. You know, like I think they're gonna give Daryl Resold job so he can go and coach the bad cats and the cheerleaders. So
no, I what we're saying is total logic. You lost the one that you should have won.
So here's the thing,
right? You weren't going to win those 3 of them.
So I'm
Ralph felt we should be 2-2.
Keep myself together. I'm gonna try to keep myself together because y'all ain't gonna be y'all not gonna put me on Church of Laughs and say I knew he wasn't a preacher. So I'm gonna go slow. Number 1, I understand. I heard the coach's words. I hope that was merely motivation as far as the exhibition season is over. The reason why I hope he was just saying that as motivation is because if I know Raymond Woody. Raymond Woody does not have a loser mentality. And I cannot for the life of me buy that he would sacrifice 4 games for the real season. I don't accept it. That's coach's speech to try to keep his guys. I can't accept anything less than that because I know that guy to be one who's a winner. So I just can't accept that kind of mentality from anybody that coaches at any level. That's number one. Number two, as far as your logic, as in, I think we realistically said we should be 1-3 no matter what. If things go really, really well, then maybe we can end up 2-2. So we're a game behind schedule. Why that? There is truth to that. We all remember beating FIU for 2 seasons because not every loss, that's coach's talk. Not every loss and every win have the same value. This is the type of loss. We didn't see this type of outcry when we lost to Western Michigan or when we lost to Mercer or last year when we lost to Jackson State. There's an outcry from the fans because this feels different. And this is the type of thing that if you don't stop the bleeding quick, can cost you an entire season. So not all losses have the same value. On the win and loss column, yes. Now the hard job becomes don't let one loss become, 8 more. But we can't consider this Clark loss. We can't give it the same weight as losing any other game. This was our get right, gimme game to prepare us for the Swac season. Now with your get right game, you're losing when you got time to get right.
Well, I'm in agreement with Jerry in this respect. Football is a physical game, but it's also psychological.
Right.
And I really wonder how much a loss like this takes out of the team. And I don't know. I can't gauge that until I get to the game Saturday to find out.
Right. And I'm totally with you there. We all hate the loss, and especially how we lost and, how we jumped out and then you come back and lose. If you had to lose a game of that caliber, Saturday was the time.
Okay.
Because now you get all your players together. The players are now checking each other. Before we get into, none of those games we played were going to put us in the Celebration Bowl or get us to the Celebration Bowl. We're in the Southwestern Athletic Conference.
I got you.
And that starts Saturday. So,
yeah,
man, I got some money I want to invest. If this happens, and Darold, I'm gonna let you take some money and do some investment.
Darold he's technically right. You're technically right. The whole season is still in front of you. And if you are part of the coaching staff, that is what you are selling. Your whole season is in front of you. But because football is a physical game, but it's also an emotional and a mental game, it is hard to go into the real season, the Swac season. We still don't know who we are on offense. We don't know who we are on defense, quite certainly. We don't know who our leaders are. I don't. I know who the guys who talk, but I looked on Saturday. I didn't see anybody rallying these guys on Saturday. I didn't see anybody saying, we're going to be all right on Saturday. I know you saw some of that in practice, Darold. Losing begets winning. You got to have some idea that we could just flip a switch. Maybe we can. I'm praying for it because even though Alabama State will be good offensively, so it gives you a little bit. I'm just saying, Darold, in how you approach this, as in your whole season is for error is gone, and because of that, real quick, because we were up by 24 points on these boys, and as soon as it started to go bad, the expectation was, oh Lord, not again. That's the way they played. They played tight for the rest of the game, waiting for the next thing to go wrong. You didn't see them playing like a team that was in control, like the guys on the other sideline who were like, we still in this game, and we're going to come back and win. one team has a winning coaching staff, a staff that's used to winning. And those guys won when they were together at Allen with those same players. They won at Stillman. We have a bunch of guys who are trying to figure that out. And so they got a lot to figure out real quickly.
Okay, so let me ask you guys this real quick. And I would hate this to be the case, but we talked about vanilla, right?
Right, we did.
You talked about vanilla.
No, it was mentioned. Ralph was talking about. He did mention Lowry's vanilla.
I don't even.
Hold up. Hey,
I don't even like vanilla.
Ralph was talking about vanilla, but not the way you said it.
Thank you, Jerry. He's talking about a different vanilla.
Yeah, he was talking about the one who was calling it. Yeah, vanilla complexion.
let me ask you this. So, yes, we go out to practice, right? But do we know what's going on inside that program?
No, but I'll see Saturday at Memorial Stadium.
Right. So, but that goes back to, and so I will say, just so there are quite a few freshmen who do play already. Now it's about getting the ones who are supposed to get the ball. It's about getting them the ball when they are in the game, because we did see some matchups that could have been exploited if we got the ball in certain hands.
See, for me though, let's say hypothetically that those first 4 games, the first 3 games was exhibition. To me, that was an opportunity to try different pieces and see how different pieces work. I mean, try this, try that. So by the time you got to where you wanted to be, you knew what combination worked best.
What if they did that in practice?
I don't care what they did in practice. I'm talking about in the game, because the same people I saw against South Florida was the same people I saw against Western Michigan, was the same people I saw against Mercer, was the same people I saw against Swac. So whatever they do in practice doesn't matter to me. I see what they do.
But that's
field.
what I'm saying.
You got the same combination.
I know we are fans, right? And we should matter to what's going on. But you think they give a dang about what we care and how we feel?
Larry, you about to check that water.
Listen, Daryl has got me spinning, and I'm not.
For example,
I hope he's right, but I can only go by what my eyes see and what I'm seeing and making some sense out of that. So, man, it better be Christmas Saturday, okay?
That's
did we? Now let me ask you this, and I want all us to be honest about it. Did you see something different so far in at least 2 of the games from the offense that you didn't think you would possibly see? 31 points one week, and I know some of that came from kickoff returns.
14
right. And then 37 this week, and 2 of those or so were field goals.
I saw 30. Hold on, Jay. I saw 31 points in the first half, but I saw no adjustments to anything that was being done to us the second half when we were being threatened and ultimately got caught. Right. That's what I'm concerned about.
Right.
So that's what I'm most afraid about. We shot all our guns the first half. I mean, really. And did you watch the Clark side? Not the football field. Did you watch their fans? They sat right there. They weren't even concerned about that. They expected to win. They expected to come back. Literally.
Every time we said defense, what they say offense.
they didn't move.
Yes, indeed.
Literally, they were there like they knew already what the outcome was going to be. And I kept looking over and I was saying, boy, this is getting scary. And every time they would score, it got tighter and tighter. And I said, man, this is getting away from us. So I didn't see enough the second half. Yeah, I was impressed by the first half. It was good to see Joe Jabino open up the playbook and for us to make plays. But the second half, just as fluid as they were in the first half, they were just as
Bland.
decrepit the second half. Literally, they didn't do anything.
So, Daryl, remember I answered your question at halftime of this game.
Yes.
And some you said, have we seen anything different? I think you have to. The first thing that we did is we were both high-fiving and saying, Joe Gerbino, with his plan in the first quarter, he did a really good job. We scored on all 5 first half possessions. And we saw, absolutely. we saw, they used the wheel route a little bit more. Cam was able to use his legs. They actually used his legs in the first half. They had a very nice plan. And we were at halftime. The score was what, 34-14 at the time?
Yes.
And so 31-14, 34-14, 30, whatever.
31-14.
Yeah. And then so I turned to you and I said, that was a really good first half. One thing I'm concerned about is we still cannot run the ball on schedule. Not with the running backs.
Right.
Everything that we got was Cam scrambling and making something with the quarterback run. And I said, I am still concerned against these guys that we cannot run the ball on schedule. And there are things that we're not doing well that I don't think will bite us this game, but will bite us in the future. Now, when we actually on Twitter, had a spaces on Twitter, and head coach Teddy Keaton from Clark Atlanta came on.
Right.
He jumped on. We weren't expecting him on. And we asked him about that. Coach, before halftime, we heard you on a hot mic. The ref left this mic open. We heard you. You told your guys, everybody calm down. We're still in this game. And I told Coach Keaton, when you said that, I turned to my homeboys around me and say, this guy's crazy. We blowing him out. And I said, why did you feel like that? He had 2 reasons why he felt like that. He said he got number 1, number 3, and number 4, and they got that ooh-wee. And the other part is because we're going to go in at halftime. We figured out what they were doing offensively. We're going to force the quarterback to throw the ball from the pocket and take away that run game, and we don't think they can move the ball after that. This is what their head coach said. And it turned out he was right. So you asked me, have we seen things drastically different? First quarter, you got to give them all the credit in the world for how we produced in the first half. We came out, and what we were unable to do is still say, take away those wheel routes that we saw. What did we do offensively from a concept? Now, the wheel routes is part of it. You can't just isolate that. But conceptually, what did we go away from? What was so different about what we saw in the second half than what we saw in any of the games this year? They were still calling plays. I didn't see any. I don't know what we're trying to accomplish. So I didn't see anything drastically different in the second half. But I give them credit for the plan that they had in the first half. It was a great plan. But we weren't able to make the adjustments along the way. So now football is an adjustment game from quarter to quarter, game to game. So now we got to go out and play against Ryan Lewis and those boys. Am I confident that we saw enough growth from this offense to say that we're going to be in position to run through the Swac and consistently produce? I sure hope so. Have I seen that up to this point? I still got question marks.
Well, your offensive line, Jerry, is still, as you're saying, not getting a push at the point of attack to generate the kind of plays, running plays, inside plays that Gerbino favors. And we couldn't do that even against Clark. So you're going to get a heavy run blitz package from Ryan Lewis. And they've had 2 weeks to prepare. They were off last week. So you can believe they're going to come in there with a lot of pressure packages, run blitzes to shut us down. And they're going to be looking for that wheel route. I'm like you. I don't know what our identity is. I'm not even sold on a lot of the routes that we're running, And Cam had a great first half. But once you made him one-dimensional, he couldn't get it done.
Yeah. To back up from an offensive standpoint, what I remember some of the players saying, we think we found something in the Western Michigan game, right? They started to move the ball in the second half. They actually I thought we played really well from the second quarter on, midway through the second quarter, through the end of the game. I actually like how we played offensively against Western Michigan. So,
Yes,
you know,
I
now
did
we
too.
spotted them a 28-0 lead, right? And we weren't able to they were able to continue to score, unlike us against Clark. But from that point on, offensively, we actually did a pretty good job. But it was funny in that game, we started off again with the inside run concepts didn't work. They started to run the ball on the edge against Western Michigan and started to be able to stay on schedule, because now we're running the ball more effective. We're able to stay on schedule. Your play action game worked because the run game is working. So you can see we're putting it together. Well, once we kind of got to this game, we had, listen to this stat, we had -6 yards running in the second half in a game you're trying to close out. -6 yards running against a Division II school in the second half in a game that you got a 3-score lead in. We weren't able to, like, so you, now again, you would think, hey, can we see some of these concepts that work against a bigger, stronger, faster opponent? We didn't see any of that. What we saw were just kind of calling, it just didn't make sense. I mean, just things that I didn't see it. I didn't see the flow. And honestly, in the press conference after the game, Coach Woody, when asked about that, Coach Woody said, we got away from our plan. So not only are we saying this is not just a bunch of fans who don't know anything. This is the head coach saying, yeah, I didn't like how my offensive coordinator called that second half. We got away from what was working. Exact words from the head coach. So, you know, at some point, you know, between what's in the head coach's head and what the offensive coordinator is calling, there's a disconnect. And so you like to hope that the offensive coordinator will get in sync with his head coach so that we can move forward.
Most definitely. Most definitely. Guys, we go down with 1:41 left to play in that contest on last Saturday. March down to the 41-yard line, throw a pass. Ray Woody III comes over, breaks it up on that pass, and then it broke loose. Unsportsmanlike conduct penalty on the Wildcats, put them down deep into our territory. Then Cabrera comes out, knocks a 55-yard to win the game.
And that particular drive, they started it on the half-foot line.
Yeah, that's what you said. Frederic put them in, you know.
What's new? They did that most of the game.
Yeah, and I agree with you, but I kind of thought, okay, we got them now. Mm-hmm. And they just drove the ball down the field. I mean, last year, we really knew that our defense was going to make a difference. And they played good football, fundamental football last year, and they kept us in a lot of games. This year, it appears that perhaps we might have better players, but we don't seem to be scheming the way we used to. We don't seem to be getting the job.
Right. So on the day on Saturday, Cam Ransom comes in. He goes out for one play. Micah comes in on the day. He finished the game 22 of 31 for 382 yards, 3 touchdowns. He had 11 rushes for 105 yards and a touchdown. For the first time in the last 6 games, Kobe Stewart hauled in a 54-yard pass. We had Darnell Dees on a Purdy wheel route that he hit early on in that contest. And then, as we said earlier, Anthony Frederic. A huge game, punting the ball, along with Cade Hector going 3 for 3 on the day. So, guys, total statistics for this past Saturday's game. Clark Atlanta total yards 451, Bethune-Cookman 477. Passing yards, Clark Atlanta 379, Bethune-Cookman 382. Rushing yards, Clark Atlanta 72, Bethune-Cookman 95. Penalty yards, 9 penalties for Clark Atlanta, 67 yards. 12 penalties for Bethune-Cookman, 117. So we are getting away from where we're getting back to the old days in that. First downs, Clark Atlanta 28, Bethune-Cookman 17. Third down conversions, Clark Atlanta 5 for 12, Bethune-Cookman 4 for 10. Fourth down conversions, Clark Atlanta 1 for 2, Bethune-Cookman 0 for 1. Total time of possession, Clark Atlanta 37 minutes, 23 seconds, Bethune-Cookman 22 minutes, 37 seconds.
Someone asked a question about time of possession, and those numbers, again, bear that out, 37 minutes.
Right.
That they had that football.
Yeah.
So they ran an air raid offense, but it was ball control to matriculate the ball down the field, and we really couldn't get it back in the second half.
No.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Can I say something about that real quickly? Look, I know we're all frustrated with Cookman fans. Listen, you got to give Coach Teddy Keaton and that staff a heck of a job. Like,
absolutely.
See, I know we're frustrated, from Cookman side. I'm a football fan before I'm a Bethune-Cookman fan. I love Bethune-Cookman.
Myself included. Me too.
And you get to a certain point in that game where you just start to applaud and you go, those guys over there are coaching their behinds off. There were a couple of times their guys made plays that me and, my brother, Daryl was there. Daryl too. We would actually start applauding. We say, you know what? That's a good football play, and ain't nothing you can do about that. That's a perfect pass. That's a perfect route. It's perfect timing, and they made plays. So, yeah, again, you got to give credit to the other guys too. They're on scholarship. It hurts that 3 of those guys that were out there killing us, 1, 3, and 4, were Florida boys.
Absolutely.
Playing in front of their mom and daddy, embarrassing you in front of your girlfriend.
Yeah.
So, but I just want to do that real quick. If you got to give a shout out to where credit is. Those guys were well prepared. And frankly, if you coach Raymond Woody, you look over there and you say, hey guys, this is what our staff's got to look like. We got to have that kind of preparation where our guys come in here and you saw the fluidity. This is something that Nick Rawls, I don't want to take his shine, but he was talking about that you can tell those guys have played together for a long time. The quarterback, number 1 and number 3, they've been playing together since Pee Wee football. They grew up in the same neighborhood. These guys played together at Tampa Tech. Almost that whole offense came with the coach from Allen University. And so, Nick was talking about even on the field, you can't hear it in the stand, but on the field, you can hear their level of communication. You can see the hand signals that they were given. They were on the same page across the board,
yes, sir.
Which is why they could trust their process. Now, we're not there yet. We hope to get there, but this is, we got to get there. We got a lot of new starters on offense and defense, and we're not at that point yet. But shout out to Clark Atlanta. You guys came in, and frankly, from the middle of the second quarter on, you were the better football team, and y'all deserve to win.
No question. Jared, after the game was over, Earl Kitchens, who you met at the tailgate, Earl came back to the tailgate after the game with a video of having interviewed David Wright, the quarterback. And David Wright talked about, quarterback, talked about how all summer long, his wide receivers, even the ones who were not from the Tampa area, came to Tampa to work out with them.
You can definitely tell.
And you could see it. You could see it. It literally, they I don't care what division you want to put them in, they would have beat some other Swac teams.
Oh, for sure.
Saturday as well.
For sure.
No doubt in my mind about that. Sure. Well coached. And I don't mind saying that they outcoached us because it was there. You could see it.
Yeah, there's evidence.
Guys, that'll take us right into our grading session. And so it's going to be, we're going to do, as someone asked, we're going to do first half,
I'm just going to put
half.
my mic on mute. I'm not grading. I'm going to let y'all do that.
Look, Jerry, you got to get in this now because I've already said where I'm laying the blame. Okay.
All right, here we go. Quarterbacks, first half.
First half? A.
And include the headsets in it.
A.
What? Hold up. Wait. Why are we doing this by half?
This is the first half.
It's a 60-minute football game.
I wonder why they were doing it by half also.
Larry, Jerry, we're drinking Daryl's water.
No. We were asked by
I think somebody online.
Let me tell you what.
Because my thing is we play 60 minutes of football And
when you're in Cookman, they don't send your grades for the semester at the halfway mark. Okay, you get that final grade. That's what you get stuck with.
Guys, we're appeasing our fans who are grateful to tune in to us.
For 59 minutes and 57 seconds, we were winning. It's the last 3 seconds.
All right. So Larry, first half QBs and headsets. Okay. Hey. Jerry, you still mute or you want it?
I'm gonna get in it, Jerry.
You come back to me. I'm gonna defer to the fans. I'm gonna just choose somebody online, and I'm gonna just be their mouthpiece.
Let's go, Nick Rawls. Nick Rawls, B to C for the game. C plus.
Nick Rawls, yeah, Nick Rawls.
Second half.
You, out, Nick. You have my vote. Nick.
Second half, Ralph.
Second half?
Yeah. Quarterback.
Quarterback.
Including headset.
Including headset. F.
F. I'm going with that as well.
Man, Oscar Wright said Bethune-Cookman pulled the Atlanta Falcons.
Against the Clark Atlanta team.
Yeah, right. Right.
All right, let's go running backs first half.
C minus.
I would say C minus as well.
Yeah. I'm looking for Nick. He got quarterback B minus, and we're waiting on you, Nick. I'm your mouthpiece, Nick.
Jerry, you're hiding, Jerry.
I'm hiding.
Come out the closet.
I'm blaming it on
the.
Running backs. I mean, they had two receiving touchdowns, which so I'll give him a C minus.
C. He gave him a C for the game.
Okay, there we go. See, Nick, we're on the same page.
Yeah. All right, wide receiver / tight end. Henry Dunn D. No, that's for running backs.
That's not surprising. That's not surprising. So you're doing running backs.
Wide receivers. No.
Wide receivers.
Wide receivers first half.
Okay, so I'm giving them a C minus.
Okay. Larry.
I'm going to give them a C. They caught the ball. They did.
Let's go, fans. Join in with us. All right. Second half. Actually, Jerry. The first half, wide receiver.
Man, I told you I'm not doing this. I want 60 minutes of football. I'm waiting on Nick Rawls or somebody else. I'm deferring my vote. Somebody else. Jalen Christensen, former player, said wide receivers C minus. We're gonna let Jalen speak.
Okay.
All right, Miss Lyon said D. Dropping 2 minutes.
Listen. I'm totally in agreement with Travis. You need to read his comment because he's right.
I'm reading it.
I agree with Travis. That's what I've been saying all night. Mm-hmm. Yep. I totally agree, Travis. Thank you very much.
See, that's why I knew Travis would have said something like that, and I didn't want to get fussed at my family reunion. So I bowed out of it.
You got to speak your piece, though, brother.
You got to tell the truth.
You got to speak your piece.
Right. I mean, look. I know. Yeah, you're not even here drinking this. You're not drinking this special water Daryl gave us. Okay?
This is not political.
No, not at all.
Speak your piece. That's why I didn't want to do the halves. I look at the whole game because at the end of the day, you're judged on what you accomplish after 60 minutes.
Well, did you make any adjustments at halftime?
Absolutely none.
We made an adjustment. The band came out, okay?
In new uniform.
That was the adjustment.
Actually, you should have asked us to grade the band because they did put on a different show.
Ralph, let's go offensive line. Let's just go
D
offensive line.
D minus.
All right.
I totally agree. I can't give a D. It got to be a D minus. They didn't give me anything.
Waiting on let's see what the fans got for us.
Henry Dunn said an F.
F for five.
F for five. Dang, Henry. Coach Dunn?
yeah, for five.
What's going on in Jacksonville?
It's a hurricane up there tonight, okay? That's what it is.
O-line D, Jalen, and Nick Rawls. All right. Overall offense for the game.
C minus.
This is first and second half?
Yeah, overall for the game.
Overall, yeah, I mean,
I give them a C minus. I would go with that. In fact, it's the first half in there. So yeah, C minus.
They put up enough points to win the game.
Well, they almost.
Yeah.
Like you get to 40.
no, they didn't put up enough points to win the game. We lost that game.
If they get to 40, like I said when I started.
You gave them a passing grade.
No, what you're trying to do is give participation trophy.
No, I'm asking you a question. I'm asking you. I'm asking you a question. They can't play defense too, though. So, did they
you
do
get some
their
first downs in the second half? You can you don't have to get whipped. They got whipped in the second half. They got whipped in the second half.
It was almost
Right.
like
They got
out
out physical, beat to the punch, out. They got whipped in the second half.
Yeah.
Hey, so I'm reading Miss Emma's comment. Shout out to Miss Emma.
Uh-oh.
We need CC here so we can get some fair and neutral grading. You can't grade fair when you're still mad.
As quickly as CC will leave the game.
I know. That Diesel be hollering north on 95, right?
Yeah, man.
All right. Let's go D-line.
D-line?
Yes.
D.
Man, we're not getting what we should. Travis is right. We're not getting what we should out of our defensive line.
Nope.
Not at all.
Got no penetration.
They played better last year.
They sure
Owen
did.
is playing pretty good coming off the edge, but we're not where I thought we would be.
Mm-mm.
So I got to give them a D minus also.
Fans? F plus.
F plus.
I think,
Okay.
Well, that's for defense, I think, total. All right, let's go linebackers.
So here, wait.
Linebackers?
Yeah, Jalen played linebacker last year. I'd like to hear what he say. Keep going, y'all. I'm looking at I'm looking for Jalen.
Yeah.
D
Gotcha.
minus.
For linebackers.
Mm-hmm.
D-line, D plus for the game.
Okay.
Linebackers.
D minus.
Yeah, no major impact by the linebackers. Couple plays, D. I'm with Ralph on that. D minus.
Yeah, I think part of the issue with the front seven is like we say they didn't get any pressure. That they didn't control. They were rushing without control. Like you got to know who you're playing against.
Yeah,
you got a mobile quarterback. Everybody's
kept getting
way
outside
up the field.
You can't rush up.
There was no rush discipline.
None whatsoever.
So but that's a group thing. That's not if you're selfish, everybody go chasing after them. You just too fast and slip out of the pocket. There was no rush discipline, right? It's like everybody getting way out of the field. He just slip a little bit to the left, slip a little bit to the right, buy extra step.
And somebody gonna be open.
And nobody spied him. We never did spy him.
No.
We really didn't spy him.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it was.
All right, what's up?
Defensive backs.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Oh my goodness.
Somebody got to tell those kids they can't face guard. Somebody got to talk to them. F.
Yeah, I flat out there.
He's giving them an F and taking the face guard away. You cannot.
I mean, we just.
Yeah, that was just.
It was horrible to watch them dissect us like they did.
Yeah.
And when we had chances to make interceptions, we dropped a couple on the sideline.
Right.
Can I say this much? In an offense like that, in an air raid offense, that's run the right way, that offense, that offense is run the right way. It becomes real easy when you know exactly what the defense is going to do. We stayed in that too high
in
look.
the cover two. And that Tampa two.
We never came out of that too high look. And it's like at some point, in fact, in some other games, you call you like, hey, this is a good time for Robert. They run it, boom. Somebody, I'm not trying to make seem like I can out scheme the coach. Wembley is he's an excellent coach. And I don't know if they were gun shy. My thoughts is perhaps they were gun shy because of all of the blown coverages that we had in the weeks coming up to it. So we thought, we're just going to stay basic. We don't think they have enough possessions. We're going to make them drive the ball. And that's exactly what they did. It seems like that was part of the plan, was make them put together 9, 10, 11 play drives to go score, which I'm okay with when you have a lead. But at some point, you got to stop the bleeding. And so, it's just one of those tricky things in sports, right? You have a plan, and the plan seemed to work. And it's at how long before you get out of it to do something different. And for us,
Jerry, you had the kind of lead, Jerry, that you could sit there in it. But once you got in the second half, and they start making a push, and we couldn't stop them, you got to bring a safety down.
Me and you live in Flagler, right?
You got to get out of that shell.
Larry, can we say, would you please tell Reggie Thomas we are not going to answer the call?
We live in Flagler. He said somebody at Daytona Beach.
He said somebody at Daytona. Just tell him we aren't going to answer the phone. Reggie Thomas.
Reggie asked, can somebody in Daytona Beach please answer the phone?
Oh, Lord.
I'm sure he's not talking about
I don't know who he's talking about. I have no idea. He can't be talking about
Reggie, for what it's worth, Larry was so happy. He was talking all week. Reggie gonna come down. He bringing all his buddies down because we wanted you to come down because we thought we were gonna beat y'all and feed y'all some fish and laugh at you. I'm so glad y'all didn't come down here.
Yes, Lord. There you have it. Overall defense.
Yes,
sir.
Yeah.
I can't go against it. If you can't get off a football field with a Division II football team, you got to get F. And Jerry explained it. I kept waiting for them to get out of the Tampa 2 look. You act like they're going to throw over the top. They never really did threaten us to try to throw the ball deep. One time.
Even on that drive where they ran the ball down our throat to kick the field goal, we still stayed in that same look. And they was running directly at it.
The area offense, all they do is count the box. All they do is they just count the numbers. Yeah. It's a simple thing. That's the number thing.
Overall defense, we'll give this from Miss Parrish, F.
Yeah. There's no other way to slice it. We're not being cruel. We're telling the truth.
Special teams.
I'm gonna have to give my special teams probably a B+. I really want to give them an A.
We did have that fumble on the return,
but I can't give them an A because of our stupidity. Literally, that's a strong word. And us having the kind of talent we got.
Man.
The professional.
and our return game, particularly our punt return game. We could be too explosive in that game for us not to have one of the key players that needs to be out there on that football field making plays for us. But we're going to sit there and play the same people.
Exactly.
Doesn't make any sense.
Yep.
Yeah. So that fumble, which cost us, that's why they don't get
that's
why they don't get the A for me.
I agree. I totally agree with you. I mean, I was looking at Frederic and our kicker.
Oh, no question. I was going to separate it. Yeah. Kickers, I have no problem with.
Overall team.
The overall team, I'm going to give them a D. And I'm going to tell you why I'm giving a D. Let me explain it to you. Even when things are going bad, when you start losing your cool, you're gonna lose out. And I was exceptionally surprised to see my quarterback lose his cool, helmet all over the place, and he out pushing people in the face. Because the one person you expect to be cool under pressure is your quarterback.
Right.
And I was disappointed in it because
understood.
Yeah.
Understood.
That's where I'm at.
There we go.
I would go with D as well. I really would go with D as well on that for the offense. For the whole game.
Fans? Overall team. D.
Everybody going
I meant to say D, not the offense for the whole team.
Right. And we got you. F, overall due to the lack of discipline penalty. Yes.
But let's talk about that for a second. In every football game, including this year, and every football game, we saw it last year, we were the least penalized ball club.
Yes.
Saturday's game was an aberration. It really was.
I agree with you.
117 yards.
Right. We hadn't shown that.
No.
We hadn't shown that. So I'm going to give them a one-game mulligan on that one because that's not who they've been.
No.
But, the only coach that I've seen that could get 17 penalties a game and still win was Brian Jenkins.
We had the talent to do it.
We got tons of penalties. He didn't care about it.
Yeah, we had the talent to overcome. It's like the old Oakland Raiders. They were the bad boys in the NFL. They could overcome those penalties. But when Parody came in, they could no longer do that.
Yeah.
But you know what? There was a difference, right? With Jenkins would always say, I don't want my team to be the least penalized team because I want them to play with a certain level of aggression, right? You played through the whistle, and that sort of thing. So it wasn't mental breakdowns. It was more aggressive penalties. That's not the same thing as cowardly and selfish penalties. And make no mistakes about that. What we saw on Saturday was a bunch of cowardly penalties. Like if you want to be aggressive between the snaps. When the guy's already beat you for a touchdown, and so you sell out on the next series on the sideline because he went out of bounds on the play that they just gained 7 yards on. That's selfish. That's just selfish. That's a cowardly penalty. That's not an aggressive penalty. So I guess what I'm saying is it's all right to get 12 penalties if you telling me, you running through people. Right. Exactly. And setting the tempo. That's not the same thing as fussing with the referee because he blew a call on a safety in the end zone because he really did blow a call. I don't know why that play wasn't reviewed. That's okay. I don't want to blame the refs for this game. This was not the refs. But you fussing at the referee because of a call that he didn't make. Like, I mean, come on, man. Go and play football. You got another down to play. You still on the field. You on defense. You got them on the 2-yard line, 1-yard line. Go and make the next play. So I don't like the fact that every week we are finding a different way to lose. That's what makes me nervous. It's not one thing. It's not like let's correct this thing. It's drop passes one week. It's blown coverages one week. It's unsportsmanlike penalties one week. It's something different every week, and they're all things that are within our control. And they're all within our control, but it's something different. And I'm like, what's going on? How we get here?
Man, I'm glad we're doing this show now, in 2024, because if what I saw Saturday happened when I was in school at Cookman with a head coach named Wesley Moore, let me tell you what, there's one player who got the 15-yard penalty at the end of the game. He wouldn't even be eating this week, okay? They would have taken the meal card, literally, much less playing. So, I know we're in a different age, different time. But back in the day, no. That wasn't going to happen. That wasn't going to happen. So I'm waiting to see whether he plays this week, how much he plays this week. We'll see if he's out there.
Well, it's the same thing, too, from our guy Shelton Quarles, who was just on the show last week, Yeah. I asked him, I was like, man, did those wings get too good for you or something? Yeah. I'm like, oh, my gosh.
He's a very mild-mannered guy.
Yeah, I know, and that's what was so surprising, really.
Well, that's why I said we were totally out of character.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned, I had not seen that.
I haven't either.
In a team, not like we had it Saturday.
Well, our recap, guys, that'll push us right into our Alabama State scouting report. Alabama State comes into this contest on Saturday, 3 p.m. kickoff, Daytona Stadium. They come in 1-2. Lost to Samford on last Saturday, 12-7.
Very close football game.
Yeah, very close against a good Samford.
Yeah. At Samford.
Right.
Yeah, but that Samford was 0-2 when they came into that game. And I one of the issues that I saw with Samford, they had a really great team, but they centered the ball over the quarterback head quite a bit.
Really?
Yeah. And that's what really threw them off. But looking at Alabama State, looking at them, remind me of us last year. They've lost their first and second string quarterback, and they got a freshman in there. But they do run the ball very well. They run the ball extremely. But again, I don't know how we're going to show up.
Well, after last week, I'd rather see somebody try to run the football. I don't want to see them throw it.
Yeah.
Definitely. I don't want to see the ball in the air at all.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
I don't think we'll see a passing game like Clark's anymore this year.
Oh, no, we won't. We won't.
That's the best passing attack we'll see.
We won't see it. No.
Like you said, Alabama State had to fight back. I'm sorry. Sanford had to come from behind at halftime. They were losing by 1 to Alabama State there at halftime. Marcus Harris led all rushers. He had 58 yards on the ground, 1 touchdown, 5.3 yards a carry. So if we got to tackle, and not up here, huh, Ralph?
No,
we can't. Hopefully, we're not playing our safeties 30 yards back.
No,
we need to have a strong safety down in the box.
Yeah, I mean,
for this ball club for certain. We don't need a light box this week if they run the football.
You got an extremely young quarterback.
Right.
And he throws the ball side. That doesn't matter, but I'm just saying he's extremely young. So you don't need to be playing your safeties 30 yards off the ball. But we'll see.
Well, if I was a teacher, it looked like everybody came to class tonight.
Well, I'm telling you.
Everybody came in.
I think they were waiting on us.
They were waiting to show up.
I was going to say, is it the hurricane pushing everybody inside?
I'm telling you, I'm stunned. I'm stunned.
This same Alabama State team lost big to Miles last year. So they had their own Division II.
Yeah,
I saw that game too.
And so, but again, I do like the fact that you like to believe in this game we can make them one-dimensional, or at least the goal would be to make them one-dimensional. And force them to have to beat you throwing the ball. Get them uncomfortable. At least amount of money. If you I don't know what the approach. The approach might be the same. Hey, they can run the ball. We don't feel like they can run the ball 30. They can take 13 plays and move it down the field. We'll flip the chains, in our favor at some point. We'll see what the approach is. But I do like the fact that we are playing against a team that's not very explosive offensively.
Nope.
So, maybe it's a little bit less pressure on our defense to try to make a play. A little bit less pressure on the offense to feel like you got to keep up with these guys, because I don't think they score very many points. This might be a game.
No,
the first team to 17 might win this game.
That's exactly.
They gave up 305 yards to
North Carolina Central.
No, to Sanford. They held them. I mean, there's 305 total yards for Sanford. They are 4 for 4 in the red zone. They lead the Swac. They're ranked second in the FCS for
efficiency in the red zone.
Yeah, red zone.
Yeah. I got a chance to see them.
They average 165 yards a game on the ground.
Okay.
My question is, though, are those statistics basically on the first team play with broke body in it?
That helps.
Yeah, I would say so.
That's the thing when you're looking at statistics. You got to look at them sort of cross-eyed, because a lot of those yards that they're basing everything on was when they played North Carolina Central.
Yes. I
want to see the Javon Ross versus JarHead Ralph show.
Swac in total offense. They average 259.
Just like us last year. What I said.
Yeah.
They remind me of us from last year.
They score about 18.3 points per game, as you guys said. First team to 17-ish is yeah. So
we got to make sure we don't play our trump cards all of the first quarter.
We got to be clean. We got to play a clean football game. No turnovers. We got to be smart, because this is going to be a low-scoring game, I believe.
I think so. Just like it was last year up in Montgomery. Which a game we
y'all
should
know
have
what
won.
that means, right? You know what that means, right? It'll be 31
So
to 34.
they beat us on a trick play last year coming out of the half. I don't know. I'm scared to death about a trick play against us this year.
Yeah.
Because we're not playing as well in the back end.
I think we're easy to be fooled.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, Ralph. Yeah, that was my point.
With this coaching staff, I don't think anybody remembered they did a trick play. But anyway.
Oh, boy.
Guys, that'll take us right into our Alpha One staffing game plan. And at this time, we'll take a quick break and hear a word from our sponsor.
As we begin to reconsider how and where we want to work, Alpha One Staffing is here to help companies bridge the talent gap.
I really struggled to find a second career on my own after my retirement.
It's been hard for us to find the right candidates who will push our team and business to the next level.
Then I heard about Alpha One Staffing.
Then I heard about Alpha One Staffing.
Then I heard about Alpha One Staffing.
Alpha One Staffing partnered with our HR team to help us understand exactly how to navigate this new digital world, even recommending strategies for recruitment and employee development.
I needed a job that would support my needs and lifestyle while also challenging me. Alpha One Staffing was completely transparent and knowledgeable about the process and provided me with the tools to feel more confident and prepared. I couldn't wait to start my new career.
We partner with our clients and assess their needs. We are the matchmakers, and our goal is to provide each client with the candidates that make a difference within their organization.
Alpha One Staffing understood that we needed a candidate with digital marketing experience in our industry, someone with an innovative mindset who could help expand our social media presence. Now, we couldn't be happier with our presence online and the impact that we are making globally.
Alpha One Staffing presented us with incredible, highly qualified, and dedicated candidates. We will definitely be using Alpha One Staffing for our next hire.
I was hired permanently after 6 months. This wouldn't have happened without Alpha One Staffing helping me get my foot in the door. If you're looking for work, I highly recommend Alpha One Staffing.
If you're a job seeker or an employer, go to alphaonestaffing.com and send us your resume or tell us about your hiring needs today.
When a disaster strikes, will you step in to help your community? Alpha One Staffing is currently seeking disaster debris monitors to assist in supporting our neighbors, businesses, and government institutions by supervising the debris cleanup efforts. Alpha One Staffing, a leader in Florida staffing solutions, partners with state and local governments to provide trained debris removal monitors to supervise complex disaster debris operations, focusing on compliance and safety. These monitors will not be handling the physical labor, but the oversight of debris removal. To learn more about this position and to apply, please visit alphaonestaffing.com.
We're back here on the Hail Wildcats Gridiron Show. Folks, if you are looking for employment, Alpha One Staffing is currently seeking applications for debris monitors and medical staff to assist the areas that will be affected by Hurricane Helene. So go to their website, www.alphaonestaffing.com. Under jobs, you will see those jobs where you apply. It's a great experience, ran by one of our fellow Wildcats. So go there, apply today. They are looking for debris monitors and medical staff to assist. Guys, that'll take us right into our Alpha One Staffing Bethune-Cookman versus Alabama State game plan. I need to know your game plan from top to bottom, Ralph.
I'm going to stay the course. I'm going to do what works for us.
Okay.
I want to see everybody working together, talking to each other, and I want to see our coaches with a lot more discipline than what they have demonstrated here up to this point.
On both sides of the ball.
On both sides of the ball.
Again, Daryl, I think we have to play a very clean football game. We have to win the turnover battle. We have to be the least penalized ball club. And I think we have to win the field position portion of the game. Since I don't know what we do as an identity for our offense, I just don't want to see us turn the football over. You know, it's okay to punt the football because we have a very good punter. Right. And it's okay to play field position because we have a very capable kicker. I would suspect that after the hurricane is gone out of here, it's going to be a very blustery, windy day. Mm-hmm. And probably like it was last week, the wind will play a factor in this football game. So when you have the wind at your back, you need to be willing to take some shots to try to get yourself in position to get points on the board as opposed to trying to open up against the wind. It's going to be a defensive-minded football game. But I can't really say right now because I have no idea who's going to start for us at quarterback or what our scheme would look like in that respect. I don't want to see us holding the football because I know Ryan Lewis is going to blitz.
He's going to
blitz. He's going to blitz us, and we do not need to be behind schedule. We need to stay on schedule with our 1st and 10s and move the chains. That's important for us.
Definitely so. Jerry?
Yeah, I'm not going to try to pretend that I can out-scheme Coach Wembley or Coach Trevino. You know, so I won't talk scheme. But here's what I will say. I am happy about the fact that we're playing Alabama State because what I do know is this going to be a physical football game. Wait.
Yes, sir.
What I know is they're going to play a physical football game. So the question is, the game plan is, you're going to have to match their physicality. You know, it's like you know, as far what the scheme is, I don't know. But we're going to have to match their physicality. And because of that, you can control what you can control. So you can cut down on the stupid penalties. You can cut down on, you know, not protecting the football and fumbling it away. And whoever shows up on the field on either side of the ball, I want guys who want to be there and willing to meet the demands that this game is going to require. And it's like, if you don't want to be out there in this game, if you got any doubts about yourself, it's going to show up quick because they're going to hit you in the mouth. And so if you want to play football, we're going to figure it out real soon if you're willing to punch them back. And so, you know, the game plan, get me some people on the field who want to play football and willing to do what it takes to get the win. And then get me a team that's going to execute cleanly and control what they can control. And let's see if we can go out there and win a football game.
Definitely so. Fans, we want to hear your game plan. Call in. It's now our live call-in segment. The call-in number, 386-287-1226. 386-287-1226. The Hail Wildcats Gridiron Gang is here to talk with you. Game plan on how we can get our first victory of the season. We want to hear from you. 386-287-1226. Again, we hope everyone is being safe as Hurricane Helene approaches. And
I'm going to drink some more of this life water I got here. That's what I'm going to do.
And I know while we're waiting on the first... Yeah, we're waiting on the first call to come through. I will say this. I appreciate this about Alabama State. I appreciate, regardless of what their final win total is going to be this year, what you do know travels with them is they are physical. And forever at Bethune-Cookman, you know, whether you win the game against Bethune-Cookman on the scoreboard or not, one thing you knew it was always going to be back in the good old forever is it was going to be, we were going to punch you in the mouth. And so I want to get some of that back. I want to get some of that. It's uncomfortable to play against Bethune-Cookman because right now, guys just roll into Daytona Stadium and leave feeling good. I was listening to somebody from Oregon was saying, I don't like that Bethune's not good. It's like our guys used to end up in the hospital after we played them, you know? Yeah. And it's like, and so, you know, other people knew that when you played against an Alvin Shine White team or a Wesley Moore team or a Brian Jenkins team, you know, is that they were going to fight you and make you earn everything. And it hasn't felt like that in about 5 years around here. And I don't like that.
Bill Hayes used to say it best, Jerry, when he was coaching at North Carolina A&T. He said the difference between Florida A&M and Bethune-Cookman back then? He said, you could punch Florida A&M in the mouth and they'll go away. If you hit Bethune-Cookman, they're going to hit you back. Okay?
That's it.
That was it. That's how they played.
Carl, you're on the Hail Wildcats Gridiron Show. Welcome.
Gentlemen, Steve Holmes, how y'all doing?
Steve, how's it going? Good, man. How about yourself?
I've been down before. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, we know.
Yeah, so I got a couple of points that I want to make, and I think you guys are on tonight. And obviously, there's a heavy cloud over the team right now. What I think is important is the team has to have an extremely short memory. We can, it's Thursday, right? The game's been 5-6 days ago. I would hope that the team has, I don't want to say forgotten about the game, but I'm hoping that they've moved on and they've done whatever they had to do to get past it. And now they're game planning for Alabama State, because obviously you don't want this to bleed over into Saturday. And you know what? I think the Clark game, we're looking at it from a very pessimistic kind of point of view, but this game could end up being a blessing. God, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but sometimes games like that would happen on Saturday has the propensity to like rally a team together. And this may be one of those moments where we'll look back and we may be thankful it happened. Now, that's expecting a lot of things to go right, but I think about when Florida lost to Ole Miss that year, and they went on to win a championship. I'm not saying it's the Florida Gators or anything, but sometimes you need those moments to bring you clarity on what's important with your team to get better. So I'm gonna hang up and listen. Peace.
All right, thanks a lot for calling in, Steve. Great to hear from you, man.
All right, man.
Yeah, Steve's right. Remember when App State beat Michigan all those years ago? That Michigan team went on to beat Florida, speaking of the Gators, in the Citrus Bowl that year. So, they still wind up being going out and winning a bowl game. It's possible. And so, we certainly hope for that. And I had that thought too, Steve, and but that was me being, maybe this is one that wake them up. Maybe all of a sudden, maybe Daryl's right. Maybe the coaches have been saying all the right things in practice since the beginning of fall camp. And this is the thing that get the players to actually, because again, we can fault, I'll let Coach Rowland speak on this, but we can fault the coaches, but they have to take a lot of responsibility. But at the end of the day, you got guys on scholarship out there, some of them making NIL money. That's scrapping it up. And they're going to have to find it in themselves to say, I got embarrassed once, I ain't doing it again. So we'll see.
I do know there was a meeting of the minds on Monday, and that's all I'll say about it.
Which mind?
A meeting of the minds. That's all we need to. You have a football team.
Ralph want to know which minds.
Because I think you should have had two separate meetings of the mind.
I'm not going to say that there wasn't. I just said there was a meeting of the minds on Monday. Take it for what you want to take it for. So, yeah, we'll see you on Saturday.
So what are you cooking Saturday anyway? What are we cooking?
Who deserved to eat?
All right, Miss Hilbert, you here, right? Okay.
We're doing hamburgers and hot dogs on Saturday. Hamburgers and hot dogs, though. And fries. Yeah. 386-287-1226. Leave it up to Ralph. 386-287-1226. That is the number to speak to us here on the Hail Wildcats Gridiron Show. We want to hear from you. We want to hear your questions, your concerns. If you still got anger, if you still got hurt, we want to hear it. We're going to be counselors tonight. We all will help each other get through this.
Hold each other's hands.
Yeah. Kumbaya.
I think it's actually a good thing that the fans are angry. I always said this. Y'all heard
for
me say this
sure.
before. Anger is not the worst thing that you can have as a fan. If you're concerned about your fan base being upset and angry, get out of Division I football. The worst thing that you can have for your fan base is apathy. It's when they stop caring. When people don't care anymore, your program's in a bad place. The fact that, people are so angry right now, let us know that people are still caring and people had expectations about this team. And so that's where the anger is coming from, is that there is expectations. And now it's like, don't do this to me again, Irene. So.
Most definitely. Caller, you're on the Hail Wildcats Gridiron Show. Welcome.
Good evening, gentlemen. This is Vernon Jackson. How y'all doing tonight?
Good, sir. Good. Good to hear from you, man. Thanks for stopping by the tailgate on this past Saturday. We hope to see you this Saturday.
I've been looking forward to the tailgating, and hopefully I'm looking forward to the Cats turning around. It was a disappointment last Saturday, but we must move forward. I'm hoping that when you said it was a meeting of the minds on Monday, hopefully it was a meeting of the minds that we got to do better. I'm hoping that was, the case. And my thing is, if a player screw up, pull him out, put somebody else in there. You got too many other players on the team that you can't make adjustments, because a couple of players, I don't know, like I say, football is not only a physical sport, but it's a mental sport as well, psychological. So if a player is not in the game to win it, he needs to come out, because Bethune-Cookman's always, had the mentality, we're going to win. And if they lose, it's because that team that they played against beat them. Clark played an excellent game, and that's why they won the game. Clark came in. Now, the second half, I don't know if somebody gave them a special water to drink, and, got to the players. Maybe Darold should eat some of your fish before they go play the game.
Nah, they need to drink his water.
That's
They need to drink Daryl's water.
I'm loading up on this right now.
And he's been drinking his Kool-Aid for 3 weeks.
You have to.
Maybe I drink some of that
Unfortunately.
water that she's passing through with the hurricane. Get her some of the Wildcats some of that water.
Definitely so.
But nevertheless, I'm hoping and praying that our Wildcats really show up and show out, on Saturday, because this is where the rubber meets the road. This is the real deal. We're in conference play, so there's no excuses now. And I thought about what Larry said about the exhibition. All that is over with the fanfare. Now it's time to really do what we need to do if we are going to have a season we can turn this thing around.
Definitely so. So we'll see you on Saturday. I got faith.
Yeah, you got a lot of faith, Darold.
I got faith, bro.
Sometimes you got to have real faith.
No, I have real faith.
Darold, let me ask you this question. You've been asking all the questions. If Bethune-Cookman beat Alabama State this Saturday, who's sitting atop of the Swac East? It'll be your
would be yes, because FAMU did not, play.
Everybody, I'm saying that you exit. If you win, you exit Saturday. Atop the Swac East, no matter what. It doesn't matter whether you tied for first place or not. So yeah, from a positive standpoint, you win this game, everybody feel better. We feel like, okay, everything's fixed now, right? And so it's possible.
Yeah.
Let me drink my water.
I mean, you've shown that you could do it. So. You gotta finish in the right way. You gotta finish in all facets. So. Definitely so. Well, we thank you, Mr. Jackson, for calling in, man, and we look forward to seeing you on Saturday.
We're looking forward to seeing you all. Hail Wildcats.
Hail Wildcats, yes, sir. 386-287-1226. 386-287-1226. That is the number to speak to the wow. Hail Wildcats Gridiron Gang. So hope to hear from you. 386-287-1226. Caller, you're on the Hail Wildcats Gridiron Show. Welcome.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. How about yourself?
Oh, good. Thanks. Hey, I got a couple questions for y'all.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Here's my question. We got a quarterback, 6'3", 230 pounds. He runs like Derrick Henry, but he's trying to run like Lamar Jackson. We need an offense that has an identity. we can't run an offense.
Yes, sir.
We can't run a Wildcat style offense and be successful for a whole game. Sooner or later, it gets to be predictable.
Most definitely.
And my other question is, we got D1 receivers from Pitt, UNLV, and we never use them. They're out on the field for what, 20 snap counts apiece? That's unacceptable. You can't have a passing game that way either. We're wholesaling 3 in, 3 out, 3 in, 3 out. There's no consistency.
Definitely agree.
Boy, good point.
And I've watched those receivers. I mean, those D1 guys are open.
Oh, yeah.
The kid from Pitt, he's making outstanding. He was leading receiver after
Jenkins.
the after the South Florida game.
Yeah.
And then suddenly not in the game. And like, why? We got the guys that can make the play, and they're open. That's the thing. So, I can appreciate, running the ball and running a Wildcat style offense, but at some point in time, you have to say, listen, our identity, if we're going to have to get back in a game, we're going to have to have a drop back quarterback and throw the ball. Me, if I was a quarterback of a coach, I'd take that the quarterback Cam, I'd make him a running back and I'd run all over people. That guy could run through a freaking brick wall. He's that strong. He's amazing. He could definitely do
that.
And I got to tell you one other quick thing. I happened to be at one of the practices, and I was down on the sideline. He threw a ball that went past my head. He was catching. I could hear the ball going past my ear. That's how hard he throws a football.
He does.
The kid's amazing. He's an amazing kid.
He is.
So I just hope we utilize him in the most appropriate manner. But I'm just a 73-year-old guy. Just season ticket.
Hey, no, but you know what you're talking about, man. You definitely know.
They don't tend to want to listen to us 70-year-old guys.
Wisdom.
I guess in Jurassic Park.
Yeah, it's something about wisdom.
Definitely, man. Hey, we thank you for calling in, man. You make some great points, and hopefully they will, pay attention. I'm sure there's somebody from that staff tuning in to us tonight. So,
that's good.
Yes.
Good to hear. Great show. I love it.
Thank you.
Love the laughter, man. You guys are great.
Appreciate it. Thank you for calling in,
much,
man. And we look forward to talking to you again on another Hail Wildcats Gridiron Show.
Sounds good.
Yes, sir. Have a good night. Thank you. Be safe. Caller, you're on the Hail Wildcats Gridiron Show. Welcome.
Good evening. This is Henry John.
Yes, sir. How's it going, Henry?
It's going fine. My concern is talked about.
Go ahead. We got you.
You talked about Coach Woody's post-game conference the other day, and he was saying that he wasn't pleased with the way the offensive coordinator called the game in the second half.
Right.
To make a long story short, then Coach Woody needs to be the head coach and put the OC on a short leash. If he's not going to follow through on the game plan, then he's defeating the purpose of his position.
Most definitely. And what happens with that in corporate America, Ralph?
Get fired. That's what usually happens when you don't perform or you ain't following the script.
There you go.
You get fired.
There you go.
And what happens?
No, we definitely agree with you, Mr. Dunn. That definitely agree with you that we got to have some consistency. We got to have, hey, if this is your game plan, we got to stick to it. If this gives us the best chance to win the game. And from the first half, it looked like it gave us the best chance to win the game. So I think we'll see some changes this week that we've been waiting on for 4 weeks now. So, yeah. So, well, man, we thank you for calling. Yes, sir. Go ahead. You have another?
No, just to let you know, if push comes to shove and things continue go down, if you will, I already have my eyes on the next coach.
10-4.
Okay.
10-4. We hope that does become a thing, but if it does, we will be getting in contact with you.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Yes, sir. Thank you for calling in, man. Have a good night. Be safe.
Yeah. So, Daryl, real quickly, the last two callers said it was kind of a little common theme there. I think you said earlier in the beginning when you were doing the overall power ratings, Bethune-Cookman was 125, right?
125, yes.
125.
How many teams are there in the FCS? 129? 132? Somewhere in that neighborhood. Right around 130, right?
It's around 130. Yeah, 130,
I think it's right around 30.
Somewhere in there, yeah.
So what the power rating suggests is that there's only 3 or 4 teams in the country worse than us. And to the caller's
there's
point,
one more in the SWAC who is, and that's
that's Valley at 129. I think 129.
And that's where they live. That's where Valley live. But we're not Valley.
We don't want to be comfortable.
We're not Valley though.
So right, and trying to put those things together for the last couple of callers, they're saying, I think we have better than 125 talent. I don't think there's 124 teams in this country that have better talent on their roster. But yet, some kind of way, we're not getting it done. Now, last year, we finished somewhere around 125 overall offense, too. So, you start putting these things together. You start, where's our talent versus what we're producing? And then you start, seeing, is there a nexus? Is there a connection between these things? And we, and the connection seems to be is that we can't seem to be consistent enough, offensively to kind of get anything going. So we're gonna see. We're gonna see what happens. But it it's makes you scratch your head for sure.
Another drink.
And Larry's got to drive home, bro.
Yeah.
Be hydrated.
You know what though, Jerry?
He's been closed in.
I think to make our kicking game go even better, I think we need to put the freshmen in return punts. Number 14. I think he needs to be out there.
You think?
I mean, why are we just saying for punts, man? I like to see him out there. I like to see what he can do the ball he's saying on offense.
He is a Swiss Army knife.
Let me tell you exactly
not one time. 2 times.
So Daryl alluded to this early. Daryl alluded to this earlier. When the other team's coach, right? I told you I talked to Teddy Keaton.
Yeah.
Teddy Keaton, when we talked to them, he talked to me. We didn't ask for him. He came to us, right? And he's talking to us.
Right.
They said, man, 3 Harris for them and 4 for them. We just couldn't guard those guys. They were talking about how good they were, all that other stuff. And they said, you guys got a guy on your roster just like him, just like those guys. Number 14, Ross. He's a difference maker. He's as good as 3 and 4 for us. That's what they said. And so my question became, well, these guys sound like y'all doing them a favor by not featuring him. They think that, one of the guys had 94 yards, the other had 127, and they're saying, well, you got a guy that's just as good as him. Caller earlier saying, well, you got a couple other guys that might be pretty good.
Right.
So the question becomes, maybe he has an issue as a freshman. Maybe he doesn't have the concept of the offense yet. I don't know. I'm not there. I'm not in the rooms with him. I don't know what he's like. Maybe he don't have a concept of the offense yet. Maybe they're working him into it. I don't know. But at some point, you like to say, who can go out and make plays for us? And I got a lot of confidence that number 14 can do just that.
Jerry, the only issue with that, you don't need to have all that concept to run a punt back.
True point.
Well, I think like Larry say, we want him for more than just that.
I do too, but can we just start off, let him run punts?
I don't know what the discussion is. I mean, we can figure this out. We ain't getting paid for this. What is the problem? Even if the other coach can figure this out, what are we doing? Like I said, you can recruit, but are you developing talent? Now this kid, really and truly, He is if he had any more size, this kid is a FBS football player.
Yeah, he's not here.
He's not even here.
Yeah.
So I don't get that. I really don't. Playmakers make plays. You get them on the field.
Right. Right. Caller, you're on the Hail Wildcats Gridiron Show. Welcome.
Yes, how y'all doing?
Good. How about yourself?
Doing all right.
Good. Welcome.
My thing is that coaches, they're not making adjustments during the game, during halftime, or nothing. The other coaches are making adjustments, but we're not making adjustments to what they're making adjustment to.
That's that right.
And man, it comes down. Yeah.
Like we playing checkers and they playing chess.
Definitely.
Pretty close to the answer there.
And I don't, unless some things change within, I'll just say this, between upstairs and downstairs, there aren't going to be those changes, those adjustments. So, I don't know.
Well, maybe you put the OC up in the booth and sit her down on the sideline.
True.
Maybe so he can see a little better what's going on. Because right now, the whole stand and everybody see that, especially in the middle of the third quarter and over in the fourth quarter, they was blitzing and we weren't picking up. We were still trying to drop back for a deep ball instead of throwing screens to get to change the tempo of the game. Screens, going to the quick passing game instead of going to a 5-7 step drop, go to the 3-step drop and get to the hot receiver. And we weren't doing that. And defensively, we can't generate pressure. That's why you see a coach. And they was I know y'all was saying that and they was in Tampa 2. We was in Tampa 2. We were still getting beat regardless because the safety still went over the top to help because it was number 3. He was torching 12. He had him for breakfast and lunch and dinner. And then he came to the other side and gave the other DB a little bit too.
Yeah, definitely. So, definitely.
And as far as like I said, the line wasn't getting pressure, but they wasn't. I don't know what they were showing in the film room because the quarterback was getting out of every time they dropped back. They pressed the line. They wasn't maintaining their lane integrity, their gap integrity.
Right.
They was pushing down, and he would just climb right on out. He'll take it down the field and run it, or he'll scramble in and catch 3 down the field, 3 or 4 down the field.
We know if he was throwing with men in his face, what he could do without with his face. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Well, man, we thank you for calling in, man. Looking forward to seeing you on Saturday at the tailgate and during the game. And we'll talk to you on another Hail Wildcats Gridiron Show.
All right, y'all have a good night.
You too. Thank you. Well, there you have it, guys. Concerned fans, man. Glad that we had them call in on a night like tonight. Everyone's kind of displaced tonight, but glad we had everyone tuning in. Can't wait to Saturday now. Glad we were still able to get the game on and able to play it. Ralph looks like he's trying to hold tears back.
Oh boy!
Like the man said, I'm just a 75-year-old guy. Nobody listens to reason.
Ralph, you're OG. You're OG.
Who's listening to OG?
Yeah, not to get sad and so philosophical on this, but I think part of the reason why this hurts so much is not just that we lost to Clark, right? I mean that's bad, but it didn't feel like this when we lost to Lane. I think some of this is just, man, we've had so much bad news for so long. Like even though things are kind of neutral right now, I don't think that there's really kind of bad news around Bethune. you would say is more neutral and we think things are getting better. It's like I think as a community, we're waiting to feel good about something, right? We want something that can galvanize us and we can all feel good about collectively, instead of this pocket over here happy, this pocket is disappointed. And so, you know, like all of a sudden with the loss to Clark, it almost becomes like this, well, we got to wait a whole nother year before the possibility of, you know, something that galvanizes us. I think that's kind of the unspoken part of this. Now, maybe we don't have to wait another year. Maybe as Larry often say, you know, Miss Mary will smile down on us. I never used to buy that when Larry used to say that. Over time, he made me more a believer. Yesterday, on Saturday, I was driving home. I was like, I need some of Larry Wesley, Miss Mary. Look at
Jerry,
you know, either have some of that water y'all been drinking, one or the other. Yeah.
Jerry, believe it or not, Larry used to drink tea with Miss Mary.
Well, Jerry, I'm already moving on, saying to myself, you're talking about something good happening. I said, well, you know, we have Wesley Moore's Memorial Service.
Right.
I'm going to see if we can win one for Wesley this weekend. Something good needs to happen for us.
We need something good. And I think that's the biggest, that's the underlying disappointment. Is like, if we didn't beat Clark, does that mean a whole nother year of, because there isn't a single thing that really galvanized the fan base like football. Let's just call it what it is. I know we have other things that we're proud of and things that we do well. But this is the one thing that, no matter what faction you're part of, everybody can come together, feel like family, and then maybe that does some of that healing that Bethune-Cookman still is going through. So, you know, that's kind of that big disappointment thing. Sorry to act like a preacher, but, you know, that's really kind of the underlying thing, you know, that I, at least for me, I'm like, here we go again, right? Now you got the people over here. We already screaming because people screaming about a coach that we never hired, that we kind of fired, that we never hired. And now we got to hear that stuff again. And we got to go through.
Yeah.
It's just exhausting, man. So we need something good. As a Cookman alum, I just want to feel good about something, you know? And so that's kind of,
man, there was a comment made in the stands by Jerry the other day he was like, I got to preach tomorrow, and I'm changing my whole sermon.
Well, this kind of stuff, it can do. It will
that sunk me down, Jerry.
Yeah, literally. I get it. I get where Jerry's coming from.
Yeah,
literally.
Closing words, Ralph.
Well, I hope everybody is safe after the storm passed through, and we're looking forward to seeing you at the stadium on Saturday. And let's go get one for Wesley Moore.
Larry?
I think Ralph just summed it all up. You know, I mean, I just trust and pray everybody gets through this evening and Hurricane Helene without any damage. You know, I really hope we play well Saturday, and that we can find a way to turn this thing around and win one for the home team. And if that happens, I think we'll all have a good week next week, because we definitely got the week off,
right?
And have time to get ready to go to Alabama A&M. But my thoughts and prayers right now are more personal in the sense of the storm, because it's we don't know, you know, it's on shore now, but have to wait till tomorrow morning, and hopefully everybody gets out of this thing very safely. So that's my thoughts, and I look forward to getting out to the stadium as soon as we take care of Coach Moore, and see if we can bring some of the old Wildcats out there with me.
Yes, sir. Definitely. Jerry?
Yeah, I mean, I think you guys said it perfectly, but I want to walk out of there with a win. I need to feel good, you know, not just about my alma mater, but I need to feel good with my fellow, you know, Wildcats. Right. And so that's what I'm looking forward to. And so go find a way to get us a win, guys. You know, we still with you. We're still hanging there with you. We still believe in you. And but we want to see it get done on Saturday.
Absolutely.
Most definitely. Sending prayers out to everyone, as I said, in harm's way of Hurricane Helene. Please, Wildcats, stay safe. We want to be able to see you on this Saturday at 3 p.m. Really at noon, if you can make it.
Yeah.
Have a great tailgate. if you have not been to one of our tailgates, you need to stop by. We're always on the lake over there under the white and tan tent. Stop by, enjoy some of the great food that we have over there. It's no telling what we might have over there.
That's true.
There's fish that come from all different places, you know. And, this week we'll have hamburgers and hot dogs and, you know, fries and even potato chips, you know. Just stuff comes out of nowhere. We had potato salad last week. You never know, man. You never know who's going to come by there, too.
Yeah, I went looking for the potato salad and one spoon left.
Yeah.
Gee whiz.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm glad people enjoyed it.
Bread pudding, too, bro.
I missed the bread.
Yeah.
Really screwed that up. Anyway.
So
wait till next week.
Definitely.
Wait till this week, rather.
Yeah. We definitely want to see you on this Saturday. If you're not able to make the tailgate. Hey, and one other thing about coming to the tailgate. If I think we really need to have, so our legacy walk is from 12:45 to 1 o'clock. That legacy walk is going to happen. We want to encourage you to get out there early enough if you're able to and join in that legacy walk. Show our team that we're appreciative of them and that we support them through thick and thin. And, you know, we're there for them to cheer them on in the stands. And when our team is on defense, let's get live in the stands, man. Let's get live in the stands. Show them that, you know, you have that Wildcat spirit. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. And they don't forget, man. And once they see your face, those players, they never forget. They definitely never forget. So
I couldn't believe how loud Clark was when we were
man. I was like,
whoa, man, where are we? You know.
I loved it. I love their spirit. Love their spirit. So everyone stay safe. For Mr. Ralph Smith, Mr. Larry Wesley, CC Cruse in his absence.
Well, I'm the substitute CC tonight, everybody.
Yeah, my boy Jerry Bell. Jerry
did a great job.
Jerry, that dude has an attendance problem.
He needs prayer.
Sending up a special prayer for you, CC, that we will see you on Saturday and that you will be over helping out with tailgate. So, no, guys, we'd love to see you come by our tailgate 12 noon on this Saturday over on the lake, and then 3 p.m. kickoff there at Daytona Stadium. Our Wildcats facing Hornets of Alabama State. Everyone be safe. Have a great night. God bless. Thanks for tuning in, and we look forward to speaking with you on our call-in on next week. Have a good night. Hail Wildcats.
Hail Wildcats.
Hail Wildcats.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Bethune-Cookman University alma mater.